Today, we'll be talking about a very important topic in the real estate business. Today, we'll be talking about home equity, how to tap into it, how to use it, and the reasons why you would use it. All right, let's get started. What is home equity, right? Well, essentially, home equity would be the balance of your mortgage minus your home value. Let's say you bought a house that costs $100,000, right? You put $20,000 down. Your mortgage balance would be $80,000. Your house would be $100,000, and your home equity $20,000. Now you understand what is the home equity. How do you build it? How do you make it grow, right? Well, there's essentially two ways that you can make your home equity grow. The first one is just by making your monthly mortgage payments on your house or your property every month. A portion of that goes into your home equity. Not all of it, but some of it goes towards your home equity. The other way that you can grow home equity would be appreciation. Let's say your $100,000 home in the market that you purchase it in has an estimated average yearly growth of 4%, right? So every year, the property increases 4% in value. So if it's worth $100,000 after the first year, essentially it'll be worth $104,000, and then it keeps going up every year. Now we know what is home equity, how to establish it, how to build it. Now we're going to learn how to use it. This is the important part. In order for you to actually know your home equity, you would have to get an appraisal. An appraisal is basically like a snapshot of your current market value. So it's like how much this house is worth in this location. The second way would be list your home for a value that you think it's appropriate, right? And then actually having somebody try to purchase the house. So you put the house, your $100,000 house, at $120,000, and somebody actually wants to buy it and has a signed document stating that they want to buy the house, then your new house value would be that amount. And then you already know how much balance you have on your mortgage, and you know how to do math. So you would be able to get the equity out of your home. Those are the two ways: appraisal, listing home. Remember, I want to make it clear that your home equity, it is not cash that you can just go to the bank and get tomorrow. Of course not. Essentially, you will be able to get it, but it would take like around 2 weeks to get approved. See how much income you have, and it essentially takes 2 weeks. And they're not going to give you your whole home equity as a spendable money. You usually get around 80 to 90% of your equity. So let's say we're going back to the $100,000 house, right? Let's say you purchased that $100,000 home and you put 20% down, which is $20,000. Then you would have $20,000 in equity at that point. But let's say 2-3 years pass by, and instead of 20% down, you have accumulated a 40%. Now you have paid $40,000 of your house, 40%, right? Now you own 40% of the house, no matter what. It doesn't matter if the house goes up in value or goes down in value. Those 2 years, that 20% down turned into 40, so you now own 40%. And in those 2 years, your house, instead of being worth $100,000, is now worth $200,000, right? Well, let me do quick math for you. So you own 40%. So now you don't own $40,000 of the house. You own 40%. So that would mean you own $80,000 of the house since it went up in value. You understand what I'm trying to say here? That's the power of appreciation. It's wonderful. So now, out of that $80,000 that you have on home equity, you would be able to take, let's say 80% would be, you would be able to take $64,000 out. Now, I'll be explaining different ways to take your money out, why there's different ways, and which one you should choose in your situation, right? The first way that you can get money out would be a home equity loan. A home equity loan would be like taking out a second mortgage. It's like take the $64,000 and a lump sum of money, like the whole thing, to give you $64,000, and then you monthly pay it just like you do with your regular mortgage. So, home equity loan, you get a lump sum of money, all of it, and you pay it every month, just as a second mortgage. Understand? Now, the second one is by far my favorite one, is a home equity line of credit. Some people call it HELOC. A home equity line of credit is essentially what it's telling you it is. Very simple. It's a line of credit that you have with your home equity. So those $64,000 that you have as a tappable equity, because let's remember, you have $80,000 worth of equity, but you can only access 64,000 of that. That's why I'm saying 64. The line of credit is basically like a credit card. They give you a $64,000 limit. Whatever you use is what you actually pay. Let's say you have to remodel your house, right? You still don't know how much it is. You're waiting on a quote. You get a HELOC, and that quote said it was $10,000. Well, you pay the $10,000, and then you only pay back the $10,000 that you used. You can still access the other $54,000. You can still access it, but you only have to pay the $10,000 that you use. Am I being straightforward here? That's HELOC, and that's my favorite one because you only pay what you use. Very simple. Third way is a cash out refinance. Cash out refinance. What is that? Very scary term. It's basically another mortgage plus the $64,000 in equity that you have. Let me explain. I use the $100,000 home as an example. So you paid $40K. You still own $60,000. With the cash out refinance, you would get the $60,000 plus the $64,000. That way you pay out your first mortgage. You still get the $64,000 of your home equity, and then you get it all together. It's not two different mortgages, basically, like the home equity loan would have been. It's basically a way to put everything onto one interest rate, so everything is a little easier to manage. Do you understand what I'm telling you? If you have a question, if you are lost, go down to the comments right now, ask the question, and I promise you, I'll answer it. So, we have three. We have home equity loan, which is basically the second mortgage. The home equity line of credit, or HELOC, which is basically a credit card for your home equity. The third one is cash out refinance, which is basically putting it all under a new mortgage under one single interest rate, unlike the home equity loan, which you would have two. The fourth one would be selling your home. That's literally the fourth one. You would be selling your home for how much it is, paying whatever is left of the mortgage and whatever is left out after transaction fees and taxes and whatever else you have to pay. Then that's how much money you get. That one, selling your home, it's usually if you have multiple properties and there's one property you want to get rid of, either for location or you just don't want it anymore, but you want that money, you want to get it out quick, then you would do this. You would sell your home, then get the money back. That was all for today, guys. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions, go down in the comments and ask them. I promise you I will answer them. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. And have a blessed weekend.